This is the SJ6 Legend 4K action camera made by SJCam. This is how it arrives. We'll take a look and see what's inside the box. So inside the box we have the camera, a lens cover protector there, a camera holder that allows you to place a camera on a tripod outside, the normal waterproof camera case. This is another waterproof back. It's only proofed down to 3 meters, but it will allow you to operate the touch screen on the back of the camera, which is a very good feature. A set of instructions, 2 swivel mounts. Now these are self-adhesive, but they'll turn, so you can alter the direction that the camera's facing with those. 2 normal self-adhesive mounts there, they just like fix in position. 2 self-adhesive patches which allow you to remove these mounts and replace them somewhere else should you want to. A lens cleaning cloth, a handlebar mount, 3 adapters there which allow you to chop and change how you mount the camera on your various mounts. A charging cable, a couple of stickers there, and then 2 tripod mounts. Right, so I'll put the camera on charge. Very easy to see that the thing's on charge. We've got the red LED on there. Once the battery is fully charged, you can see that you've got the full battery symbol on the screen there. It's the same on the other side. So the camera's got a very, very nice feel to it. It's hard plastic, but it's got that sort of non-slip feel as well. It's quite heavy for its size, and we've got 2 screens. We've got an LCD screen at the front, which is very useful because it means that you can see what's happening with the camera from the front. And then on the back we've got another LCD screen, and that is a touch screen, which is absolutely brilliant. It really is. It makes using the camera so easy. So on the top of the camera we've got the record button and the OK button for the menu. On the side we've got a power button with the LED and also a settings button. Underneath is a battery compartment. And then another very good feature is the fact that it's got a tripod mount there. On the other side we've got a speaker and the microphone, a micro HDMI port, a mini USB port, and then the SD card slot there. It does not come with an SD card, you need to buy one to put in the camera. And obviously on the back we've got the touch screen. So in order to access the various modes of the camera, if you look at the bottom of the LCD screen there, it says video. If you just click on that and slide down, then you can see the modes that the camera will operate in. Now video is self-explanatory, so if you select video lapse, it will take time-lapse photographs and then it will stitch them all together in the camera's software and make a video. Slow record, I've not even looked at that, but I assume you can actually record video and then it'll, when you play it back, it'll play back in slow motion. We've got normal still photography. We've got photo lapse, which is basically time lapse, and it just takes the photographs. Burst mode means it will take several photographs all at once. So video plus photo will record a video as normal, but it will also take a photograph every so many seconds. Car mode means that you can use it as a dash cam, and obviously underwater all that does is it adds a slight reddish tint to the video to make it look more realistic underwater. So each mode that the camera operates in has got its own menu. So at the moment we're set for video, and I'll just go through the ones for the video because they're what most people are going to use. The resolution one is self-explanatory. Loop recording means that it records the video in chunks of 3 minutes, 5 minutes or 10 minutes depending on which one you select. If it fills the memory card, then it will start overwriting the stuff that's at the beginning. That's only if you've got it set. If you don't have loop recording set, then it will just record on the memory card until the memory card runs out and then stop. Field of view, you can actually change the field of view of the camera from wide, middle to narrow depending on what it is you're taking video of. Low light mode, you can select that for when it's fairly dark outside and you want to get a better picture. WDR, that just adjusts the contrast and whatnot to give you a better picture, and it says that it's not always required. The gyro sensor, now this is a brilliant option. If you turn it off, it's like any normal action camera, so if you're walking around with it, the camera's bouncing about like this, and your video is not very good to look at. You've got 2 settings, low and high, and the gyro sensor actually irons out a lot of the bumps to make your video a lot smoother. Audio, you can turn the sound on and off. You've got a volume control there. You can put a timestamp on your video if you want. 2 file formats, you can have MP4 or MOV. I've selected MP4 because that's the most common one. Bitrate, that kind of tells you how fine the photographs that the camera takes are, or how fine the video is. Double file, if you select on for that, it will record your normal MP4 file and then it will record another file that's much lower resolution. Sharpness is self-explanatory. White balance is self-explanatory. Colour, I won't be touching that. EV is the exposure value, and it compensates for the amount of light that's allowed in. Metering, again, it prioritises the brightness. Distortion correction kind of irons out the fisheye effect that you get from these lenses. And then one last thing I want to show you on the touchscreen at the back is if we slide it down, on the left hand side you can toggle the Wi-Fi on and off on the camera. The one that's highlighted in pink there is to allow you to pair it to one of SJ Cam's remote controls. The first person view mode allows an analog TV signal out, and then the right hand side one just means that you can lock the screen. It's capable of recording 4K at 24 frames per second, but that's interpolated. It's got 2K at 30 frames per second, 1080p at 60, 50, 30 and 25 frames per second. At 720p we've got 120, 60 and 30 frames per second, and 240 frames per second at VGA quality. On the side of the box there are QR codes for Apple and Android. It goes straight to the App Store. The app is free, so I'll download that. Select the Wi-Fi target there. It then displays the SSID of the camera and the WPA2 password. Go to settings, and then I've got to go to Wi-Fi and select the camera. Then I've got to put the password in, which is just 12345678. So I'll do that now. Join. Open up the app. Connect to camera. There we are. So from there you can record directly off the app. That's the recording now. You can stop it, or you can change the operating mode of the camera, and you can actually turn the camera off. So that's a fairly in-depth look at the camera itself. What I'll do now is I'll post a few videos that I've made with the camera. I don't have anything that operates on 4K, so it's pointless me posting video on 4K. I don't even think you'd see that if I posted it on YouTube anyway. So I'll do everything in 1080p. This is a time-lapse video. It was recorded in video lapse mode. The camera processes the photographs and actually exports it as a video direct to the hard drive. So the camera is now mounted to the bonnet of my car and I'm driving around the garden. It's kind of off-road conditions and the gyro stabilisation is set to high. The same again, but this time the gyro setting is at low. And this is with gyro stabilisation turned off. So this is me walking with it on a selfie stick, and I don't know whether you can see that deer down there in the trees. It's a stag. I've got the gyro sensor on maximum, and I'm going to approach the deer and we'll see how long it takes for it to see me and run away. There he goes. Gyro off. Gyro high. So this is a camera set on the wide field of view. This is the middle field of view, and this is the narrow field of view. So that's it, a fairly comprehensive review of the SJ6 Legend action camera made by SJCam. First of all, it is good quality video. You can choose between a lot of resolutions, all the way from 4K interpolated down to VGA. There are three things that really stand out on this camera that I think make it much better than the competition, or at least most of the competition. The first one is the touch screen. The touch screen makes operating this camera a doddle. It is so easy and basically it's so intuitive as well. You just use the screen to do everything on the camera, and it is so much easier than pressing buttons. The next thing is the LCD screen at the front. That allows you to see what's going on with the camera from the front without having to go around the back and look at the screen. The gyro stabilisation is an absolute joy. The films are way steadier, they're not bouncing around all over the place. It does make your films way smoother, almost as if they're on a gimbal. One small thing that I absolutely love and really has transformed this camera for me is the fact that it's got the thread on the bottom, so you can literally screw this onto any tripod at any time. And then the last two things are the field of view setting. Now, I found that the field of view setting will only work if you take the gyro stabilisation off. But if you do take it off, then you've actually got three selectable field of view options, and you can see in the video that they're pretty handy. The last thing that impressed me is the low light setting. Now, if you look at the video, you can see the difference. I should have maybe filmed it a little bit longer so you can see the difference, but there is, if you look closely, a clear difference between the two. SJCam have had the reputation of being the best budget camera maker for a long time. And really, as far as budget camera makers go, they're the main competition for GoPro. And with a camera like this, you can see why. The other thing that I'd like to mention is if you go onto the SJCam website, there are a very comprehensive set of instructions for this camera on there. And also a new firmware version, or there might be a new firmware version if you've got an older version of this camera. And that's another good point about SJCam. They keep issuing updates for their products. They don't just make a product and then forget about it. Updates are coming out all the time, and every one improves the performance of each camera. So I think this is a smashing camera. I think it's great value for money. I hope you've enjoyed the review, and thank you for watching.